Hey there, it's Robbie Susan Chandler here, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Quincy, Florida, right outside Tallahassee, Florida. My website is robbiesusanscardsandcrafts.com. I would like to share a Christmas card with you today made with the Fragrant Forest die set. And this is the card we'll be making. And here's another version that I did on black with silver embossing powder. So you can do several things with this stamp set. This is the stamp set right here, and it's a large one. It's the whole background here. It stamps this whole background at one time. We call them our background stamps. This is a really pretty, very versatile stamp set here. You could put deer on it, but I chose just to stick with the tree theme. And on the inside, I just simply stamped a tree and a sentiment from the stamp set Evergreen Elegance, which is a retired set, but you may have it in your stash. So, and I did it in the shaded spruce, which is the color that we're going to stamp on the front here. So let's start on this. Now I found with this stamp, it was a little bit tricky, and I put it on my stamp positioner. I know we don't sell the Stamparatus anymore, but there are lots of stamp positioners out there, and I'm sure some of you own them. So let's ink this up with the shaded spruce. And my advice is to really apply the ink. Now, my sample I showed you, I really think that I could have re-inked my pad and gotten a deeper green, and it would be a little bit prettier. So I'm hoping it's going to show up on here. And to begin with, you can use a basic white card base that's 8.5 by 4 1/4, or you can cut it the other way, 8.5 by 5.5, or you can cut it the other way and make it 11 by 4 1/4, and it would open up instead of sideways. So this size is the 8.5 by 5.5. And I actually used one of our retired card bases that have silver around. But you could just cut your piece of silver and cut the center out to save for something later, and then you'd have your silver border. And that piece there, if you were going to put the silver around, you could just cut it 4 1/4 by 5.5 to cover the whole front. Alright, let's get back to this part that we're doing. Now this piece I have here actually came from our textured shimmer paper. And in this pack we have the shaded spruce, which is where I cut my little Christmas tree, and there's white, and then there's balmy blue. So we're going to use the white piece today. Now on this card I actually used some glimmer paper. I had some retired glimmer paper, but tonight I want to experiment or give it a shot on this textured shimmer paper and see what happens. It may be an epic fail, or it may look better than the other one I did. Alright, I feel like this is inked up pretty good. Now, when you stamp this, you really have to do some CPR on it. And I mean CPR. Because the details in it, to get them to show up, you've really got to press down. And you see how much pressure I'm using. You can't just do something like this. You've really got to press. And I've noticed on my stamp, this area right here, did not want to stamp well, so I'm putting a lot of pressure there. All right, let's take a peek and see what we have. Oh, that looks pretty good, but I think I want it a little bit darker. So let's put it back over here. It looks like it slipped on me, and I hope this is going to line right back up. Okay, it looks like it did, because I see the trees are going right straight up and down with this texture design. I don't know if you can see that in this paper, but there is a little streak texture. Alright, let's give it another shot and see what happens. And I see my area right here did stamp pretty good that time. Okay, keep your fingers crossed. Let's see what we get this time. It's also a good way to develop your arm muscles. Alright, let's see what we got now. Okay, that's a little bit darker. There's a little piece of trash. I don't want that on there. Okay, and if I had freshly re-inked this ink pad, we probably could have gotten this dark enough the first time. But I'm going to go, I think, one more time at least and see what I get. Okay, one more time. And this is a reason you probably would like to use a stamp positioner, because if you have to do it multiple times, you can hit it the same spot every time. Or if you're just doing it freehand and you just got it on a block and you're stamping on a block, you're not going to be able to line it back up every time, or it'll be a little bit difficult to do. You might be better at that than I am. Okay, I'm just going to go with this. And see, here's the trees. Now, I really think that I get more detail in my shimmer paper. In fact, while we're at it, let's just do a piece of shimmer paper just to see the difference. Glitter, this is glitter paper. And this was just some I had in my stash that Stampin' Up! Had a year or two or so ago, and don't carry it anymore, but maybe it'll come back. So let's see what we get when we stamp on this glitter paper. Alright, here we go. Well, as you can see, I'm getting green on my fingers, but that's okay. It's a sign of a good stamper, I've decided. If you don't have ink on your fingers, you're not doing a good job. Okay, see, there's that spot I was talking about right there, so I'm going to give that a little more pressure. Yeah, see that? Clear that up right there. Spot right here. Alright, I think I'll do it one more time just to get a little bit darker, but as you can see, you see the difference in the two? This one has, you know, the little streaks in it. This one doesn't have that streaky look, and I really think I'm liking the glitter paper better than the textured one with the stripes. I was afraid I was going to, but that's the way it is. I had to try it on the other one just to see. Okay, let's see what we've got. Let me hit those spots that I have trouble with. Oh yeah, much better. I like that. I like it, I like it. All right, let me pull this off. Let me hit that spot right there. There we go. Ah, perfect. Okay. Now, can you see that? And you can see the trunk detail on this one better. If you look at this one, trunk details and leaf details to me don't quite look the same. You let me know in the comments which one you like the best. But I'm going to work with this one to finish my card up. Let's get this out of the way. Okay, so I used our organza ribbon that's in the Christmas catalog. Let's just turn this over and put a little snail on the back. Found this new tape runner, the Stampin' Seal Plus. Works very well with ribbon. So I'm going to lay that down. And this is one thing too, when you use this glitter paper, if you put it down and just kind of blot it, you see I had a little come off on my fingers, and that'll take care of any of the extra that didn't soak in. So I'm going to wrap this here. Now this ribbon, I notice, is a little tough to get tied. It's not real pliable. If you work with it and use this snail on the back, you can get it to lay down. I want to pull this a little tighter. Get it around that corner. Let's see what we got now. Oh, look at there, nice and crooked. Let's see if we can fix that. Looks like this side needs to go up a bit. Now let's see what we've got. Oh, much better. There we go. Alright, we're going to put this on the front of our card. And that's one thing too, when you get your glue on the back of this, it also holds that ribbon in place and you don't have to worry about your ribbon popping up anymore. Just stick that down. And one thing you could use is just some plain old Scotch tape, and Scotch tape it down until you get it adhered to your card front. I really think this little silver rim around the edge makes a difference, especially when you use this ribbon that's got the little silver trim there on it. Okay, so far so good. Yeah, I really think this is better than this one. This one just, I don't know, just doesn't have the appeal I want. Okay, I stamped my sentiment, and it's from the Regal Reindeer. The Regal Reindeer, I use this one, and this one is current. It's in the annual catalog. I stamped it in Shaded Spruce on White, and I punched it and a silver scallop out with just our silver paper, and I put them together with dimensionals, and I'm just going to glue this on, and hopefully it will help hold this ribbon down on the front. So let's just place this here for a minute and hold it and persuade it to stay there. And I'm going to put my Christmas tree, and the tree was also cut from dies with Regal Reindeer. And I like this little tree. It's just got these little areas you can pull up if you want to give it some dimension. But for now I'm just going to glue it down like it is, because you know what happens when it goes in the envelope. Anything we fluff up unfluffs, but that's the way it goes. Alright, so we're going to put this one right here, and that'll help hold our ribbon in place too. So there we go. How about that? That was pretty quick and easy, wasn't it? You just stamp your trees and stamp your sentiment, cut out a tree here and do a little punching, and stamp whatever you want on the inside. And there you have a pretty quick Christmas card. I hope you like this card. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and please like my video. If you need a demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. And below I have a link for a tutorial with all the instructions on it. And I'll see you next time. Happy stamping!